Hi there everybody, it is Bryan from Northern Power and Safety, and I'm going to take you through a tour of our newest dashboard, and it is version 26.01.13.06. And you will see here that I have the desktop version here. I've also got another tab that's open and compressed, so this is going to give us an understanding of what it would look like on a mobile phone, because we do have this product as a mobile first, meaning it works simply on the mobile phone as well as the desktop experience. They're similar, a little bit of difference. But here we see I've got 4 tags and I've got 4 work scopes. You can see it here on the mobile version. I have my work scopes here that I can tap on my phone, and that will bring up your tags. And that was test 1, so I'll do the same thing here on the desktop, and I basically see the same thing here. What I want to bring your attention to is some of the features here on the dashboard. I've got the work scope filter that I have just showed you right here. This is the ability for you to just narrow down your view of just the tags based on the work scope or what people are working on, basically. You can always go back to that by clicking the all work scopes. And we see the same thing over here. We have the name on shift. This is the company, the work scope that they're on, the lid or lockout ID number, and the I and the 4 represent how many times this particular tag was scanned. And this could be useful for your auditing purposes. On the mobile version, we have the ability to call the person, to view the tag, to edit the tag, or delete the tag. We can also search by tag number or name. Go back here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this alone for now. Let's see, clear that. So we've got all of our work scopes here, and we see here that we have people on shift and off shift. Okay, so let's go through. So once you've logged in, we've signed up preferably with the company domain email account. That way all users for the company don't get separate bills when it comes to licensing of Lockout ID. So let's go up to the top. We have profile settings, and in here I'm going to call your attention to some of the settings that we have. I will go over the dash view, which is a very interesting and unique way of visualizing all of your lockouts and the statuses of them. You have the ability to set your own logo in here, so this is where you do it. You choose the file from here, and then it will show up there, and it will show up on your dash view. The next one is approved work scope. So if you are a business that has a certain defined work scopes set that doesn't often change, you could put them in here in a comma separated value list. And you could always come in here at any point and add another one by using a comma, and then maybe that's test 6 now, and then update the profile. If you clear it out, it just gives people the ability to put in their own value in here, and it could get unruly because your work scope filters could have different cases, different spellings, things like that. Okay, so that is the profile settings. Sign out is going to be obvious. Clear lid. So what this will do is anything destructive in the system will actually give you a prompt before it does it. And what this is going to do is it's going to clear out all of the tags that you have in there. This could be useful in the use case where you are a supervisor on a project and the project has completed. You've got 100 tags, you've got 100 workers, they've all turned them in. You just want to, in one swoop, clear them all out, maybe take those tags, move them on to the next project, or send them back to a central warehousing so they can be reissued to the next project. You just go ahead and use the clear lids. That's the easiest way to do it. If you want to make it difficult for yourself, or you want to do them one as they come in, you can just click the delete buttons on each of these. And again, destructive, so you're going to get the, are you sure you want to delete it? I'm going to cancel for now. What if you have 1,000 tags in your project and you've got 3 people that are off the project now, they're done doing what they're doing, and you don't want to search through 1,000 tags and 100 pages to determine where they are. That's not a problem. I've got a tag in front of me that's 7043. So I'm going to type that in. That landed on my desk. This is an older version. Landed on my desk, and I need to clear it out. So I'll search for it. I see, hey, yep, that's Jim Smith, 7043. That seems right. I can just go ahead and delete it from there. I'm going to use this, so I'm not going to delete it. But that's how you do that. If you want to export that list of all the users so you can see it in front of your face, maybe you like to see everybody in one go, you can click the Export to CSV button here. And what that'll do is it will create a file. And because I just had this scope to the one person, it's just going to give me that one person. It's going to tell me all the information about that tag. So maybe you need that for your records. If you want everybody, all you'll do is clear your search and then export it again. And then this time you're going to have all 4, in my case, because I have 4 tags. So that's the search and export function. Also, if you want to remove the work scope filter to give yourself more room and real estate, you can just click that X button and that kind of disappears here. You can use the order tags button to bring you to the Northern Power and Safety website in order to order more tags. It's just a quick link for you. Email support is a quick link to get to our support at lockoutids.com. Tag Audit. Tag Audit is a way to assist you with printing out or saving an audit of sign-in, sign-out events. Now with the Lockout ID Generation 2, the new tags that look like this, they do have NFC built in the back, and you can use your phone, just like you do tapping to pay at the coffee shop, to sign in and sign out. This eliminates the need for maintaining and storing and logging a separate written identification form for sign in and sign out of a job. If that's something you do, the tag already has all the worker information and it knows what time it is. So when you use the shift status function that's built into Lockout ID, it's as simple as a tap. So here we have an audit trail of some activity. We see the status being on shift or off shift, the time, the worker, the company, the scope, and what the source was. For the most part, you're going to see NFC tap here. And what you can do is you can set this report for certain parameters. You can make the report for all of your lockouts, a specific lockout, a specific worker, a specific, work scope. You can also choose by the lockout ID, or by the worker, or the work scope. You can always also set the time frame, either last month or a specific month when you set it here. And you can also set the time zone. So if you're working in the Eastern time zone, like we are, you would have it to Eastern time so that all of these line up with what you expect. Night shift probably begins at 5 o'clock, so this on shift makes sense for Jim Smith. If you were in the Pacific time zone, like our friends in California, you would want to set that so that those times make sense for you. Now here you can export this to a PDF, and you can store this record wherever you need, in your digital files or print it out for anything. You can go back to the dashboard. So let's now get into the dash view. So the dashboard view is modeled after a departure arrival dashboard from an airport. So here's, you see where your logo, which you set in the settings, went, and you've got your current lockouts, on shift, off shift, and a total, along with the date and a running time. And these will, as you see, shift up. So if you have hundreds of lockout ID tags, then you'll see the status as they go by. There is also a remote view field. So because the dash view is something that you can only get from logging in, it doesn't really help if you've got a main headquarters or maybe job sites where you want this information to be displayed, maybe on a smart TV or something like that, or maybe in an operations center. That's where remote view settings come in. So when we click remote view settings, you're going to get a special read-only remote view access link. And you can copy this, and I'm going to go in here to an incognito window or in private window. I'm going to paste it in there so that you can take a look. It's very similar to the board that you've got, only we have read-only access, no actions available, so people can't go back and edit your tags or anything like that. Again, this is perfect for a headquarters or maybe a job site, a remote job site where you want to show this, or maybe even on a supervisor's computer somewhere. So that is the remote access. And we'll look at the generate fast start. So generate fast start is the ability to quickly onboard tags. So these are good for 60 minutes, and what you'll do is you generate this, print it out. If you've got workers, you hand them a Lockout ID tag, you print this out, you have them scan this, and we have a video on that and how that works. And then they have temporary access just to onboard tags. You don't need to share your credentials, you don't need to share your password or bother changing that. Any worker that onboards a tag that's scanned with your fast start code enters into your supervisor portal. So it is managed by you. So go back to the dashboard here. That really covers all the features and functionality in here. What I'm going to show you here is I've got my tag 7043, and all of the updates are in real time with the Lockout ID portal. I've got my tag, so this is Jim Smith's tag, and it too has the NFC on the back, and I've got my phone, and all we're going to do is tap on here, and we're going to see that Jim Smith's status, without me having to update it, has changed to off shift. So this is good because this is going to update on everything. It's going to update on anybody looking at the dashboard. It's going to update automatically on your mobile phone. It's going to update on dash view, and it's going to update on remote view, all at the same time. So let's take a look. I've got Jim Smith up here. I've got Jim Smith here. We're going to see that all these things, when we come back on shift, are going to happen simultaneously. So I'm again going to use the NFC that's built in, and now we're on shift. And we see that banner of off shift went off, and up here we've got on shift now. And with our phone, we've got a bright yellow background saying on shift, so the user that's using this functionality will be able to understand right away what they've done. We're going to go back, and I'm going to show you what that off shift looks like. It's a darker background and says off shift. So when they're operating the shift status on Lockout ID, it's not going to be a surprise what they've just done. So again, all of this goes back into the tag audit, so you will see the on shift and off shift changes at the time that those are made. You don't have to maintain any separate sign-in logs, pens, pencils, markers, or Q. It's all built in. If you have any questions, reach out to us at 617-340-3061 or email support@lockoutids.com. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there. Bye for now.